Salvation is my best gift ever. You're the tree of life. I was lost, now I am found.
Today, we are going to talk about some important thing that you will never find in the Bible. What's that? The star that comes from east every 2,000 years. What is that star is about? Well, I believe you might have heard about Nimrod. Who was Nimrod? Where did he come from? Why is he together with Terah? Terah, for those who do not know who he was Abraham's father. So Nimrod was a Cushite. Cush is the modern Ethiopia. So why did I have to put Nimrod and Terah together? Well, because Nimrod, as I said, was a Cushite. And he was ruling a country or a land named China. China, not China like the China we know today, but it sounds like it may be the modern China. China with an S, not C. So while Nimrod was ruling that land, that's when, well, you got it. We know him about building the tower. You know, when he wanted to build the Tower of Babel. So Nimrod, while ruling that land of China, he chose Terah, who was Abraham's father, as his beloved prince. So he was in charge of all the house of Nimrod, Terah, who was Abraham's father. So now, what is the consequence? The connection between Israel and Ethiopia. For those who do not know, the Bible has been tampered with. What does it mean? Many books were removed from the Bible. For example, this story of Nimrod with Terah, who was Abraham's father, you cannot find it in the Bible. So what happened? Why am I comparing Ethiopia and Israel? Because in reality, Israel is used or is a part of Africa, Northeast Africa. That's why they divided Israel from Africa by using Suez Canal. So now, why do I have Ebed-Melech and Jeremiah? You remember the story of Ebed-Melech, Ethiopian, again, with Jeremiah, the big prophet of God. When they want to kill Jeremiah, and Ebed-Melech got him from the pit. You remember? He was saved by an Ethiopian. You see? Ethiopian serving Israel, and Ethiopian using Ethiopian again. Ethiopian using Israel. So why this connection? You understand? There must be something. Even God himself asks people, aren't you like the Ethiopians? So if God is comparing Israel and Ethiopia, that means to God, Israel and Ethiopia, they go hand in hand. That's why I sometimes say, God saved Ethiopia as a reference to the true Israel. You see? Here, we can jump into the Nubians and so forth, but here, let's just focus on Israel and Ethiopia. They go hand in hand. We have Nimrod, Ethiopian, had Terah, Israel, as the chief commander, and then Ebed-Melech saving Jeremiah, the prophet of God. What's the connection? You see, they go hand in hand, and we never find it in the Bible. This is very important to know. So now, why is this important? So, let's see. Let's move to the next. Abraham and Christ. What do they have in common? Remember, back to the star that comes every 2,000 years. So when Abraham was born, the same star came around. The same star that came when Christ was born. So when they saw the star, they want to kill Abraham, and he had to run away for his life and spent 10 years in cave. After that, he came out. That was when Sarah was born, when Abraham was 10. And of course, we know that Christ, the same thing happened when Christ was born, the same star came. And of course, they want to kill him, and then he ran away to Egypt. So, how long time did Christ stay in Egypt? Well, Christ stayed in Egypt for 1,260 days, which is 3.5 years. So, these 3.5 years is exactly the same as the days the Antichrist will rule during the book of Revelation. Remember? So now, why this is important? So, we have Nimrod and Terah, who was Abraham's father. Now, we have Abraham and Christ sharing the same story, exactly the same story, where the star came from east in both occasions. And of course, they want to kill the babies. And watch this. Why every 2,000 years plus 30 years, that's when the Messiah comes on the scene. So that means when Christ was 30 years, that's when we are told he started teaching. So now, remember, if you look back a little bit, year 2000, everybody was talking about the end of the world. The end of the world, the end of the world. So now, 2030, we have 8 years to go. That means in 2030, something's going to happen, something big, I may say, is going to happen. Perhaps, maybe, the Messiah is already here. What if the Messiah is already here? We don't know. But, how do I know that? Check. Abraham was born. Christ was born. The star came around. That was the end of around 2,000 years. So, 2,000 plus 30 years, that's when the Messiah is manifested. So, when you hear people say about the Agenda 30, and you know it's going to be 2,000 years plus 30 years, watch out, because this is when everything gonna be revealed to the world, and perhaps the new Messiah or the Messiah, the true Messiah, is going to return. Thank you very much for watching. May God bless you. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Salvation is my best gift ever. You're the tree of life. I was lost, now I am found.